this brings up a very important topic that is also difficult, I think, for Platform University members to come to terms with sometimes, because I've talked to a lot of them, and a lot of them struggle with money, and it feels self-serving to want to make a lot of money. But you have a very different understanding of money and its relationship to impact. So I just want you to unpack that a little bit.
Well, I see it firsthand. So, a lot of people want to do great things in the world. And the traditional way of going about doing that is by volunteering time. But the reality is, you and I, we have a small amount of time available to us. We only have 24 hours in a day. And so, for example, we build schools in Africa. Now, I could go over there and I could volunteer my time, but let's be honest. A, the buildings would probably fall apart if I was the one building them.
Me too.
And two, I can only give so much time because I've still got responsibilities back home. I've still got responsibilities to my family. I've still got responsibilities to my work. I've still got responsibilities to all the other commitments that I have in my life. So as much as I want to be able to give, I can only give so much time. But money's totally different. Money, when you get to the point of being able to create money like we do as entrepreneurs, that's the ultimate leverage point, because now you can put a small amount of time in, but it gets leveraged in so many bigger ways. And so the more money you do make as an entrepreneur, it creates a bigger and bigger opportunity for you to be able to give in bigger and bigger ways. So one of my there's two mentors that I have really learned a lot from in this regard. One is a gentleman by the name of Chuck Feeney. Long story short, he was the man who started the duty-free shops that I'm sure we've all shopped at all around the world. He made a ton of money, so much so that he felt so guilty about all the money that he was making. And so he just started giving it away, but he was giving it away without anybody knowing. So he was building these huge universities over in Ireland, and he's done so much for education worldwide. And it's only recently that he's kind of come out and shared what he's been doing, because he realizes that it's an opportunity for him to encourage others to do the same. And so he's at a point now, he's in his late 70s, and his goal is to give away all of his money before he dies.
Wow.
And he's giving over $1 million a day away to different organizations and causes that he's passionate about. And I get so inspired by that, because think of all of the lives that he's changing, the lives in the universities, the lives in the health arenas that he's helping and serving with. That's just so inspiring. But he wouldn't be able to do that if he was just volunteering time.
Well, all that sounds great, but I think a lot of people are in businesses where they have thin margins, and the idea of making a lot of money or creating a high leverage business where you have bigger margins sounds impossible. But for those of us who are in the kind of business that you and I are in, we know that's entirely possible. But how do you think about that? How do you create a high leverage business that generates the kind of margins where you can really make an impact and give to these things that are so worthwhile?
I think the first step is identifying that you've got to get away from trading time for money.
This is huge.
This is a huge step for anybody.
So it gives us some examples of trading time for money.
Personal trainer that I work with, he only gets paid for the time that I am with him. So I pay him on a per hour basis. He's trading an hour of his time for X amount of money that I give him. That's trading time for money. Or coaching, for example. If it's one-on-one coaching, you're trading time for money. Or speaking, again, exactly. You're trading an hour of your time, if it's an hour presentation, for a set speaking fee. And although those numbers can, speaking fees can go up and so forth, there's still no leverage there because you're still trading time for money. So the further away you can get from trading your own time and still being able to generate revenue, the better.